Number 1. Which of the following pictures shows the best way for a student to hold a test tube over a Bunsen burner? Number 2. Macy is measuring a small amount of liquid during a lab. What unit will she use to record her data? F. Kilograms, G. Graduated cylinder, H. Milliliter, or J. Volume. Number 3. What measurement, instrument, and unit would you use to measure the amount of matter in an object? A. Mass, triple beam balance, kilogram. B. Volume, graduated cylinder, milliliter. C. Length, metric ruler, centimeter. D. Weight, balance beam, ounces. Number 4. For a long-term science project, Joy's uncle allowed her access to a small section in his field of cotton. She designed several tests over a period of years in 2 experimental plots. Last year, she added magnesium to the plants in plot A to see if the cotton bolls would be larger than plants in plot B. What data should she collect for comparison? F. Height of the cotton boll plants. G. Diameter of cotton bolls. H. Color of cotton bolls. Or J. Number of cotton bolls on one plant. Page 5. Number 5. The volume of an egg in water in a graduated beaker is 200 milliliters. After the egg is removed, the volume of the water is found to be 125 milliliters. What is the volume of the egg in centimeters cubed? A. 75 milliliters. B. 25 centimeters cubed. C. 75 centimeters cubed. Or D. 150 centimeters cubed. Number 6. Which of the activities would require the use of goggles, aprons, and gloves? F. Creating a model of DNA. G. Measuring the density of a sample of granite. H. Comparing how fast carts roll down ramps. Or J. Determining the boiling point of a solution. Page 6, number 7. Based on the illustration, what is the density of the cube? A. 432.2 grams per milliliter. B. 43 grams per milliliter. C. 10.05 grams per milliliter. D. 8.64 grams per milliliter. Page 7, number 8. What is the best method to measure 125 milliliters of water? F. Use a 150 milliliter graduated cylinder and place it on a level surface. Kneel down so that you are at eye level with the cylinder and slowly pour in the water. G. Use a 200 milliliter beaker and hold it up to eye level. Fill the beaker with water and carefully pour out water until 125 milliliters remain. H. Use a 25 milliliter graduated cylinder and fill it to the top. Repeat the process a total of 5 times. J. Use a 200 milliliter graduated cylinder and hold it up to eye level. Slowly pour in the water until the meniscus is level with the 125 milliliter mark. Number 9. A student needs to measure the mass of an apple. Which of the following tools should the student use? Number 10. A student uses the tools shown below to make measurements during an experiment. What was the student most likely measuring with these tools? F. Density. G. Pressure. H. Temperature. Or J. Volume. Number 11. The table below shows data on the iguanas at the zoo. Which inference is best supported by the data? A. Iguanas over 40 centimeters long are always males. B. Iguanas continue to grow for at least 7 years. C. Male iguanas live longer than female iguanas. Or D. Female iguanas grow faster than male iguanas. 12. Students place water and metal in a plastic foam container. The table shows information about each substance. Which material has a greater density? The greatest density. Number 13. A student heats 150 grams sample of iron, aluminum, wood, and marble to 100 degrees Celsius in an oven. The student then adds each to a different beaker holding 150 grams of water at 25 degrees Celsius. The student measures the temperature in each beaker after 3 minutes. The results are shown in the table. Which conclusion should be drawn from this experiment? A. Iron was the hardest material tested. B. Aluminum and marble have about the same density. C. Wood has the highest specific heat. Or D. Marble and aluminum have about the same melting point. Number 14. The unique geology of Big Bend National Park attracts many geologists to the area. On a recent trek up the Toole Mountain, a geologist took several soil samples. Her observations of the soil samples are listed in the data table. Sample number, elevation, moisture, and particle size. The label fell off of one of her samples. Its moisture reading is 19%, and the particle size is 0.06 millimeters. Which elevation did the soil sample most likely come from? F, between 0 and 50 meters. G, between 50 and 100 meters. H, between 100 and 150 meters. Or J, between 150 meters and 200 meters. Hey, I don't think I can stop, so I'm going to go in that room. Number 15. Susan's family has a swimming pool in their backyard. Susan's mother has told her that the water temperature has to reach 30 degrees Celsius before she will be allowed to go for a swim. Every 5 days, Susan records the water temperature. Based on this data, what was the water temperature on March 10th? Number 16. Susan's family has a swimming pool in their backyard. Susan's mother has told her that the water temperature has to reach 30 degrees Celsius before she will be allowed to go for a swim. Every 5 days, Susan records the water temperature. Susan forgot to record the temperature on April 30th. Which was the most likely temperature? Number 17. A student measured temperature during a chemical reaction. The results are shown in the table below. The student wants to make a line graph of this data. Which would be the best number range and unit for the y-axis? A, 20 to 100 degrees Celsius. B, 0 to 5 minutes. C, 20 to 50 degrees Celsius. Or D, 0 to 10 minutes. 18. A student took a survey to find out how many members of the class were born in each month. The table below shows the results. Month and number of students. Which is the best way to display the data? F, pie chart. G, histogram. H, line graph. Or J, bar graph. Number 19. Students filled a tub with hot water. They took turns reading the temperature of the water once every 5 minutes for 60 minutes. The students want to learn about the rate at which water cools. Which would be the best way to display this data? A, a bar graph. B, a line graph. C, a pie chart. Or D, a histogram. Number 20. Which type of graph above works best to represent the data table below? Number 21. Which graph best illustrates this statement? As temperature increases, the rate of evaporation of water increases. Number 22. Which graph best illustrates this statement? As temperature increases, the rate of evaporation of water increases. Number 23. What is the mass of the rock? 127 grams for A. B is 217 grams. C is 712 grams. Or D, 721 grams. Number 24. Refer to the diagram. In instrument C, what is the value of each division between 11 and 13? F, 1.0 degrees Celsius. G, 0.02 degrees Celsius. H, 0.2 degrees Celsius. Or J, 2 degrees Celsius. Number 25. Refer to the diagram. What is the correct measurement for instrument B? A, negative 2.5 degrees Celsius. B, negative 2 degrees Celsius. C, negative 8.5 degrees Celsius. Or D, negative 1.5 degrees Celsius. 26. What goes in X? Okay, the measurement column says length, X, mass, temperature. The Y column says metric ruler, graduated cylinder, triple beam balance, thermometer. The Z column says centimeter, milliliter, kilogram, and Celsius. So what goes in X? F, liquid, G, volume, H, weight, or J, pressure. Number 27. The chemical equation below shows the reaction between baking soda and vinegar. The student data table lists signs of a chemical reaction that were observed during the investigation. Which of the following safety symbols is most likely to have been included in this laboratory procedure? NaHCO3 plus CH3COOH yields CH3COO Na plus H2O plus CO2. Signs of a chemical reaction. The bag expanded and filled with gas. The bag got so big it almost popped. The liquid in the bag got cold. We saw bubbles form in the liquid. Number 28. Mercury thiocyanate is a white powder that rapidly decays when heated by a flame. The white powder expands rapidly to many times its size, releases heat, exothermic, and changes from a white powder to a green-brown foam. Students conducting an experiment using mercury thiocyanate would most likely require which pieces of personal safety equipment? F, safety shower, goggles, tongs. G, fire extinguisher, safety shower, apron. H, gloves, fire blanket, apron. Or G, goggles, gloves, and apron. 29. A student carefully mixes 2 clear liquids in a beaker. The student then observes the beaker for 60 seconds, watching for signs of a chemical reaction. As she waits, she notices that some of the chemicals have splashed onto her hand. She goes to the paper towel dispenser and wipes her hand clean, then returns to her observations. After careful observation, the student concludes that no chemical reaction has taken place. Which of the following would have been the best safety practice for the student to have used for this experiment? A, the student should have worn splash goggles, an apron, and gloves during the investigation. B, the student should have run to the emergency wash station and rinsed her hand for at least 15 minutes. C, the student should have told her teacher about the chemical spill and been sent to the nurse. D, since no chemical reaction occurred, the student's hand is fine, and so no further action is needed. And number 30, a student is assigned a test tube containing an unknown liquid for identification. After the lab, what is the correct way to dispose of the liquid? F, pour directly down the sink. G, dilute with water and then pour down the sink. H, pour into the waste container set out by the teacher. Or J, throw the liquid in the trash can.